Hello again, and welcome to Kobold Storytime. When we last left off, our heroes had just completed their first quest. They had returned Floon to Volo, but were met with a surprise. Their deal had been altered. They were no longer going to be given their 100 gold apiece, because unfortunately, Volo doesn't have this money. Instead, he has given them a deed to a manor. The deed is for the infamous Trollskull Manor. The heroes wake up to meet Volo downstairs. He has a large grin and holds a decorative-looking paper to them. I knew you guys would love it, so I just went and had it signed over. I just got back not 10 minutes ago. They normally need you guys to be present, but the magistrate owed me a couple favors, so she just signed it over. The party looked at each other disapprovingly. Well, can you take us there? Asked Furcuti.
This place is a dump,
Karis said with disgust.
Is this place even up to code?
Inquired Jack. Well, on paper, yes, said Volo carelessly.
What do you mean on paper?
Well, And just then, a halfling strode up to them. He was normal height for a halfling, with bushy eyebrows and large mutton chops on the sides of his head. He looked at the house. The building was in shambles. It was probably most impressive in its glory days, but those seemed long past. It towered over the nearby building, sporting 4 stories and boasting balconies, a turret, and even 5 chimneys. Most of the windows were boarded up, and even some of the doors.
Broxley Fairkettle at your service. And it looks like you really need my service, and then some,
touted the friendly halfling.
I'm the representative of the Fellowship of Innkeepers. Guild fees are due once a month, or if you want to pay in advance, you can save a little and do annual fees.
What if we don't want to join?
Asked Pickles. Broxley gave a look as if Pickles had just spat in his face.
Not join?
Broxley cocked his head to the side.
I've always heard terrible stories of people who decided not to join. Their buildings catch on fire, or they go out of business within a couple months.
Are you threatening us?
Growled Jack.
Oh, heavens no. I would just recommend joining. We can help you get your place ready for customers.
Broxley said sincerely.
Well, at least the place will get all the repairs it needs,
sighed Karis.
Oh, we don't do repairs. That's the Carpenters, Roofers, and Plasterers Guild.
Chuckled Broxley.
There are more guilds?
Gritted Jack.
Oh, that will be over later, I'm sure.
Broxley started to list off all the other guilds that would be coming by.
There's the Cellars and Plumbers Guild for fixing up your plumbing and cellar, I'm sure. The Launderers Guild for bed sheets. Gotta have the Dunk Supers Guild to keep the streets clean.
Furcuti had heard enough and walked off to take a look inside while Broxley kept rattling off other guilds. Furcuti had never owned anything before. He opened the side access door which led to the living area in the manor. They were separate from the tavern area, allowing privacy to the residents, but allowing them to still be run on top of the tavern. When he opened the door, he was greeted by a flight of stairs. He climbed the stairs and entered the next door. Cobwebs were everywhere. The place had not seen use in months. A rat scurries by and spooks him. Yes, the place will need some affection. Volo sighs as he comes into the room from the stairs. At least it's something, Furcuti said with pride. We will fix it up, he reassured himself. So the thing I was meaning to tell you guys, Volo started. Pickles, Jack, and Karis had finally got their earful from Broxley, and they said they eagerly awaited the other guild reps. They didn't.
We should check the tavern to see what we are working with,
said Karis. Karis and Jack pried the boards from the front of the tavern door. Inside, the furniture was mostly broken, and the place smelled of vinegar and mildew. The main hall was large, comfortably sitting 25 to 30 guests, with a large stone fireplace near the center of the room. Karis walked to the fireplace, and then to the large nook, to gaze out the window.
Guys, we can make this work,
Karis said cheerfully.
There is a cellar,
shouted Pickles.
Oh, we gotta start making sour beers and cheese.
He started muttering to himself and laughing. He ran downstairs and started to take inventory of everything down there. Not much was salvageable, only a couple of barrels. Jack was envisioning manning the bar, picked up a glass out of the cabinet, and a plate fell out, smashing on the floor.
Well, I guess we need to buy more anyway,
shouted Karis from the nook. Another plate fell out and smashed onto the floor.
Hey, you don't need to break 'em all, Jack,
Karis said with frustration as she walked to the bar. Karis saw Jack's face. He was peering at the bar, brow lowered.
That wasn't me.
Furcuti burst through the front doors of the tavern. This place is haunted, he said, catching his breath. Volo, very out of breath, was behind him. Only a little haunted. It was the main reason I bought the place. Volo took a couple deep breaths. I needed material for my new book, Volo's Guide to Spirits and Specters.
You swindled us.
Karis flew into a fury, stomping towards him, her heavy armor making the stomps sound even louder.
Actually, this could be all right.
Jack interjected.
I mean, it was just a couple plates, right?
Added Pickles.
You will make this right. Or do I need to make this a watch issue?
Karis snapped as she prodded Volo's chest with her finger. Oh no, please no. Look, I'll pay for your stuff at your old living quarters to be delivered here. And I'll put in a good word to all the guilds, Volo pleaded.
I must go.
Jack stated aloud.
Where are you going?
Asked Karis.
I must do some research. I must find out who our guest is.
And with that, he started to leave. Volo retreated under the guise that he needed to talk to Jack. Hold up, Jack. I have some information for you. They finally had some time to breathe, so they all started to clean the place up.
Furcuti, your presence is required at Blackstaff Tower.
A woman's voice rang in his ear, not demanding, but not questioning either. Furcuti looks at the others who are cleaning, seemingly unaffected. Hey, did you guys hear that? He questioned.
What? The sound of you not helping?
Chuckled Pickles. The voice asking to go to Blackstaff Tower, replied Furcuti.
No?
They replied in unison. I think we need to go to Blackstaff Tower, Furcuti said. They started to head out when they saw a lady walking up to the tavern.
Wow, you're so popular today. This should really help our cheese sales once we get started,
Pickles said to himself.
Good afternoon,
The lady said as she approached.
My name is Sabra Bellabranta, and I'm looking for you, I believe.
She was looking directly at Karis.
I'm with the Order, and I would like to speak to you in private. Anything you can say to me, you can say to them.
Snapped Karis.
Oh, they were right about your fury. We offer a test, if you will, to see if you have what it takes to join our ranks in the Order of the Gauntlet.
She handed Karis a sealed parchment.
I understand they are part of your posse. They can assist you if you wish.
Savra then turns and leaves. As the group heads to Blackstaff Tower, Karis reads the letter.
We hear that the Zents are paying gangs in the field ward to attack suspected Xanathar guild members. Fights are breaking out in the ward daily. Stop a fight before it happens. We need to send a message to these thugs that further altercations won't be tolerated. It says that we need to stop a fight between the Xanathar and the Zents in the field ward.
Karis paraphrased.
I'll see if I can get my patrol switched for tomorrow.
They arrived at Blackstaff Tower just before dinner time.
Papers.
Demanded one of the guards. I don't have papers. A lady told me to come here and see her, said Furcuti. The guard slowly leaned his head back and side-eyed the other guard.
Yeah? See? I told you this was a bad idea. Thanks. Now we're going to jail,
scoffed Pickles. A ghostly face appeared upon the door.
Please let them in, Marcus. They are here to see me. This was the mystery lady's voice again.
Yeah, you're here to see Vajra. Go on in.
Marcus opened the door for them. They entered the grand hall. Ebony stone tiles lined the floor like a grid. Hints of gold specks glittered as they walked towards the lift. The lift was a beam of light shining from the first floor all the way to the top. When they entered, they were teleported to their destination. Whoa, that was trippy. Furcuti stumbled.
I want to do it again,
bounced Pickles. The room they were in was decorated with the same ebony stone. There was an ash desk with a few trinkets on it.
Hello?
Karis called out cautiously. Vajra? Asked Furcuti. One of the knickknacks on the table moved. A jar slipped off its lid, and a voice was produced. The same familiar female voice.
I'm so sorry I had to run out on you, but the Blackstaff is always needed somewhere in Waterdeep. I have a request for you, Furcuti. Seek out Halam, a monk who lives in the cave on the side of Mount Waterdeep. Ask him what he's heard about the threats in the city, but do not annoy him or overstay your welcome. Report back to me on your findings.
The lid slid back on the jar.
Wait, we get to talk to a monk?
Shouted Pickles as he started to bounce around. Well, I guess we should go. It's already getting late in the day. Maybe we should head out first thing in the morning. Furcuti and the rest headed back to the lobby. Jack had been at Blackstaff Tower almost all day. He had dug up that there was a previous barkeep who had died while working, and then started to haunt the place, trying to keep new owners away. It was a half-elf named Lif. He also had researched some different ways of expelling the poltergeist. but nothing seemed to be too promising. As he started to pack up and leave, a paper shaped like a bird flew under a nearby door. He watched it as it flew directly to him, unraveled, dropping a ticket and a letter that fell into his hands.
Renair tells us that you are a good bet. He bought you tickets to the opera tonight at the Lightsinger Theatre in the Sea Ward. If you are interested, meet Mert at the intermission, Private Box C. Formal attire is required.
Only a couple of hours.
I will have to be quick,
he told himself. He quickly left to the Sea Ward. The Sea Ward is similar to the North Ward, where there are nobles aplenty. They differ normally in the way that nobles carry themselves, though. North Wardners usually are more polite, and the people of the Sea Ward tend to be more cutthroat. Jack scoured the street of the Singing Dolphin, one of the main streets in the Sea Ward. The sun was starting to set, and he saw a sign swinging outside of a shop. A bright blue floofy shirt with a giant gemstone for a brooch. He walked in, looking around suspiciously. "Oh, welcome to Elfstone. Is there anything I can help you with this fine evening?" The shopkeep was a shorter elf, thin with poofy slicked back blonde hair.
I need clothes. Fancy ones.
Jack stammered. "Oh, yes, sir. We have the finest over here. Is this for anything special?" the shop owner inquired.
Yes, the opera at Lightsinger Theatre,
Jack replied. "Oh, then you will need to get going. I can ring you up quickly. This will be 400 dragons. Lucky you. This one is 50% off." The shop owner smiled.
Do you have any that are, cheaper?
Jack asked sheepishly. "What kind of place do you think this is? Some dark woods sweatshop?" the owner replied in offense. "I knew I smelled destitution when you walked in." The shop owner raised his nose and walked away. "Please leave before I have the guards remove you." Jack had never been so affronted, and he recently had humanoid birds try to kill him. He stormed out without saying a word. In his rage, it felt like forever, but before he knew it, he found another store.
He needs to pay. I will make him pay.
Jack walked in steaming.
I need your cheapest and best outfit,
demanded Jack, slamming down 4 gold coins on the table. "Yes, sir." The shopkeeper was not expecting that kind of treatment so late. He came back with an outfit that looked out of its time.
What is this?
Barked Jack. "Well, sir, this is the only thing that meets your requirements," the shopkeeper said with a wince.
It will have to do.
Jack snatched the outfit off the table and left, assembling as he went. Jack barely made it. He had seen the Fall of Tiamat before, but he didn't want to miss the intermission. The performance was very average. He didn't understand Giant, so he just watched Private Box C mostly. During the intermission, he quickly rose and made his way to the lobby. He wasn't sure what Mert looked like, so he was eyeing everyone suspiciously, waiting for someone to call him towards them. He walked into Private Box C, and he saw a rotund man with a decorative hat.
You must be Jack. The name's Mert.
He definitely wasn't what Jack was thinking when he thought of Mert.
You know that you're wearing a costume from the play The Elementals, right?
Mert said, smirking, smacking Jack on the arm.
I'm only joshing you. I thought you had something for me.
Jack said through gritted teeth.
Oh, yes. One of the drays working in the city is pulled by a talking mare named Maxine. Locate her. Find out if she's learned the identity of any Zent operatives, and if so, determine their whereabouts. That's all. You can stay if you'd like. I appreciate the offer, but I really must go.
Exhausted, Jack left the theater and started to head towards the manor. We pop back over to the other three. It's about supper time when Fracuti, Pickles, and Karis leave Blackstaff Tower. As they start heading down the large staircase outside of Blackstaff Tower, 2 flying snakes slither up to them. On guard, Karis leaps in front and holds up her shield in a defensive stance. The 2 snakes stop and start talking to Fracuti and Pickles. Want to be part of something big? Speak to Davil Starsong at the Yawning Portal. They do have pretty good food there. Should we go? Asked Fracuti.
Yeah, I'm starving,
replied Pickles.
Guys, I'm gonna head back. It's been a long day,
Karis said, lowering her shield. When Karis arrived home, she was greeted by an older gentleman.
Sorry, we aren't open yet. Give us a couple weeks,
she said reluctantly. I think you are just the person I wanted to meet. Jallister Silvermane in the flesh. I have an assignment for you from the Lord's Alliance. If you complete it, you might be accepted into our guild.
What do I need to do?
Karis asked, thinking about all the patrolling she would be doing tomorrow. A gang war has caused unrest throughout our city. We now have offered protection to members of the Dung Sweepers Guild, and now you have been assigned to protect them. Meet them at the Mole Skull Tavern, on Ship Street, in the Dockwood, at 6 bells, and guard them while they work. Do this every day for a 10-day. If you have any further questions, just ask, and I'll appear. He snapped and gave finger guns. He walked away, blowing on his fingertips and holstering his fake guns.
I don't like that guy,
she said as she headed up into the living areas to start getting hers set up. It was a bustling night at the Yawning Portal. It was rarely a dull night, though.
Hey, Dernan, you know a Devil Star song around here?
Pickles asked as he hopped onto one of the bar stools in front of Dernan. Who's asking? Chimed in a half-orc's voice. She stood up and approached Pickles. It was the half-orc that had lost the other night.
Oh, hey, you were amazing the other night. I mean, you lost, but with pizzazz.
Pickles said with a hint of puppy love in his eyes. You must be Pickles and Fracootie. Yeah, come this way. She took them to where there were private booths. She opened the privacy curtain and ushered them in. The inside was extremely decorated. Earth tones covered the cloth walls in a psychedelic way.
We's a looking for new recruits for the Doom Raiders, and I's heard you guys have been making some waves. I like that. Someone's been killing elves and half-elves sailors in the Dockwood. 3 dead so far, each one decapitated by a blade in the dead of night. Look into it, will ya? Methinks the City Watch could use some help.
Davil flung back his long elven hair and waved them off. Yagra picked them up by the back of their shirts and moved them out of the booth. You guys have a great night, Yagra said insincerely.
Why does everyone want us?
Asked Pickles. I know, right? We still have work tomorrow. We should get back, suggested Fracootie. The party all arrived home at their new manor. They unpacked their stuff and had a great night sleeping in their new place. Except for Jack. His dreams were more like nightmares. This is where our adventure pauses for now. There was a lot covered in this episode. There are a lot of factions and a lot of names being thrown out. If anything seemed to offer anything, please let me know, and I can do some fixes or address them in the next episode. In the next episode, the players will get to start on their missions, climbing the ranks in their selected factions. The factions will have major roles later on, and are extremely key to a couple special shenanigans that happen. Thank you so much, fellow kobolds, for watching and listening. It's a blast to make these, and if there's anything else you'd like me to focus on, please let me know down in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.